Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. It's actually been a long time I didn't make any videos for Dead and Soul, but actually because of a lot of things actually made me want to hit the one who made the game. Maybe I'm not really sure I can say that or what, but anyway, today we will talk about what I feel is good on this game and what I feel bad on this game, and maybe I will make you a video later for a compare between the live version and the Neo version, what I see good here and what I see that I don't like here and all of this. But anyway, we will talk today about just Neo and what I see is good and what I see is not good and what I hope for change or what I hope to change because the result of things that I hope to change on this game. I can't really feel it that much good on some points. So we will try to talk about all of this. So anyway, let's begin to talk. Yes, I will begin with the most thing I hate because this one can go above everything good on in the game. So it's kinda ruin the game too much, especially my server. Okay, so that's the DDoS attacks, too much DDoS attacks, too much DC because of this. Kinda not really sure what to say, but whatever, if I want or I like the game or not like the game or I want to play or not, the DDoS attacks actually make me don't want to play because of this. Like my gears at the moment is like this. Actually, I did a lot of good things until now, maybe I can say, but because of the DDoS attacks, I tend to play sometimes. I don't feel like I want even to play sometimes, so it's kinda so bad. Like, as example, I was trying to play today and went for a dungeon, and at some point, oh, okay, I got DC, I die. Maybe they kill the boss, maybe I know, I'm not sure. Maybe I didn't die, by the way. But actually, I got some damage, I got DC, I went out of the game for like 3 or 4 minutes, came back by luck and continue the dungeon, but actually, it was so bad. Why I take like 5 minutes waiting or trying to connect to the game. Sometimes actually it happened on a good times, like I was trying to kill Janjado as example. I didn't give him that much of time to try. So I went and reached floor 6, I think, or 5. 5. And I was about to kill the last boss or the boss on this stage and was almost on the last hit. And then I got DC. I did, by the way, from him. He killed me and got DC. So I went out. My weapon almost broke like this. So kinda so bad. Like if I want to go for something like this, I need some time. I need like maybe half an hour spending on this until I have good gear so I can finish this faster. But I can't play because of this. So that's the biggest problem I see on the game, and this one can go above everything else. Whatever, what is your problems on the game? And this one especially need a fast fix. I am not sure what they are trying to do. Like more than 2 weeks, so they say we try and we try and we are trying. Okay, and almost every day I try to open the game, especially in early time. I got a DC. Maybe a moment like now, or it's okay. Away from I opened the game to record this video, I actually wanted to record a battleground. So actually I opened before the battleground end by maybe 3 minutes. Was hoping to find a game on this time as fast as I can, but actually I found my character was dead because of what I said on motion tower part, and then I got DC after I pressed the 4. So what the fuck is this? I actually tried to play and you tell me please don't play, we don't want you in the game. For so it's like why I'm playing, by the way. So I hope for a good fix for this as fast as it can happen. Let's begin to go for the bright part first on the game. What I like on the game before I go for what I hate. Okay, so maybe for the accessories part, I don't hate it that much. Away from I have to get every skill and all of this. So maybe if I think about it, I will feel myself I hate that. Because I need to play, as example, some PvP. So if I want to play PvP on Battleground, away from I begin to feel like Battleground is okay on this game more than the live version. Live version was you can take one hit and die. because the difference on the deers or the gap between the deers is super high. But here it's actually a bit closer, so it will never happen that you find someone can give you just one hit and you will die. Not sure if that can happen or not, but I didn't see this. So maybe you can play. The problem that you don't have the skills to play. Like live version, I can change my skills to PvP skills with talent trees and all of this. But here I have to did gears with PvP skills and I have to did gears with normal skills. Okay, or PvE skills. So for myself, I had to have this necklace as example, have 3 slots on this, have as example block and 5 points straight and bullet straight, so I can TD as example, and away from I need this. But I have to change this here on another necklace away from my normal one is stronger. But I have to change this so I can use the blade strike for stunning who's attacking me, still Ripper for days as example, and the legendary slash for the airborne. So I had to change some gears for this. Also I changed this one, so I'm using Dragon Crash here away from Flash Step, and also for Syringe Slash I'm using Lightning Draw because it can do more damage on the CC opponent, so it can help me in PvP. So I had to change a lot of things. As example, when you are starting this kinda so bad, when you get the hand of it, maybe it's a bit better. Okay, if I will talk about dungeons, so I feel dungeons have some good and bad points as well, and that will be on the gears you can get. First of all, gears you can get it maybe a lot easier on the dungeons more than the other version. But the problem that you need a good state. So maybe you will get a bad state first and try to play with this, and you find yourself, I have to change this later. So maybe you put it some good things like cities or whatever, and you will have to try again when you change this item and all of this. But actually, I don't hate it that much because maybe I will have to stay on some points, or maybe I can get the gear whatever I want, and that's something I like from F5 if I have from this currency, which is not easy to get, but it's not hard to get as well if you can find something good to sell. As example, if you try to sell as example selling necklace built as like this, maybe can happen that someone will buy it, who knows. So maybe all of this can help one day, maybe not. Maybe something like this you can sell it, I think should be good. And you have to try to find the good things, the transformation stones also. So all of this can give you the currency from the game, which is divine gems. And that's also something I don't like because a lot of players can buy or can pay to win and they get a lot from this. And that's actually not so hard thing. So they can buy whatever they want. So it can give advantage for sadly the pay to win guys, so they can buy divine gems within coin and just go buy everything they want, and they can be full gear in just 10 minutes. And for you, the poor guy who's playing and tired, maybe you can do this on 1 month or something. That's kinda unfair. Away from I don't care that much about this point. Anyone can be strong but don't know how to play. That's a lot of players, and that's most of players was even the normal Blade and Soul, the live version was like this. You find some players have too much gears and can take anyone one hit and a lot of this. And when they play, they die. They tend to do mechanics, they tend to do anything on the game. So it's a kind of, I don't write it. Some will don't write it as well. Some will not care. I don't care that much, but it's okay. Most of players will hate it as well. Back to the point. So you can buy the items you can reach. As example, I have low attack power, or someone have low attack power. I tend to go for Koharan as example. So I can try to sell anything. Go for F5, search for the item or the weapon I want, like this. Okay, I want Siren sword. How much is that as example? It's with 50. I want something good, so you will have to search until you find something. Yeah, you actually feel it's like good, have good estates, or have some slots, have some slots for the soul or whatever, and then buy whatever you want, and that's it. So it's kinda okay and kinda good. A lot of things from the guilds, you can take it and sell it. You have a lot of ways to get your accessories, you have a lot of ways to get your weapon, like even from crafting as example, or transmute. So I can get this one as example from any guild and try to get my weapon. You can go for battleground and try. You can try to get it from faction fights and all of this. So it's actually you have a lot of ways to get your accessories, and that's something good we don't have on the normal or the old Blood and Soul. So I like this part. Also, I like item like this, actually something new to have item like this. Normally, when we have something with another button away from the game will be the, what it called? Talisman was the talisman was just giving you a buff and that's it, but this one it can give you attach, so it's kinda looking better. So maybe we can see a lot from this later. Maybe, who knows, maybe we can see 2 slots maybe one day. I hope to see this, by the way. That's kinda good. I don't hate that so much. But what I don't like really is the skills way on this game, especially when you start. First of all, you have the skills having levels, and that's a bad problem and a good point when you are playing a lot. But actually, you will feel the skills is not doing anything. Like, as example, when I did this skill better, so I can steady bleed. As example, here I don't use any threats, so I can use threats or use block with a stun. So actually, normally on all the Blood and Soul, even away from in super old days, if I will say, most of this you can get it so easy. You can switch from, as example, fire to lightning so easy, but here you can't because you choose the skill you want. Like as example, if I want to play lightning, so maybe I will have to go for this tab instead of this one, so I have to get the skill, and if I will do so, I have to unequip this one, which is close to something, and I have to equip the other one, and that's it. So if I want to play fire, then switch to light, fire, then switch to light, like what I was doing on live version as example, I can do that. And if I will do, I have to have 2 accessories from the same one and put this here and put this here. So I have to switch between them. The good thing is that we have a lot of pages like this, but not everyone will go to play with 2 styles. Like I'm playing fire as example now. If I will play lightning as example and will feel lightning a lot better for me, so maybe I will play lightning and will never go for fire again, because it's not easy to do this and it's kinda hard to try to do this. Especially I have to find the skills for this, which I have to focus as example for myself to go for blue skills and purple skills, and if there is something higher I will have to go for it as well. So it's kinda not so easy. One of the good things I like on the game is the change to the cities. Normally when we try to put city as example on this item, so you go for here and go for this one and try to put your city and all of this. On all the version you have to do this like 5 times on the same city, so you need to have 5 from the same city so you can put the state. But here actually just you can try away from it's random, so maybe you can fail to get something good, but still at least you just need one. So it's kinda something good I like here. Same for the soul shields, so it's a change on the cities on everything. Also one of the good changes I like is on the outfit part, that you can buy a lot of outfits so easy, so you can get them with the valor stones and try your luck whatever what you will go, or go for the wheels. There is a lot of good outfits now, and some have a remake for their outfits, so it's kinda good. Like as example, if I will go for something like this one was the normal one, but there is someone else from it. I think this one. Okay, this one. So this one like a new form from it. So it's kinda cool, kinda good. Then try to read this as example with Valor Stones. So it's not so bad away from it's about luck to get something like this, but still you can give it a try until you can get it. Also one of the changes that I like is the inventory. It's actually too long. Can put too much items here on this one, so I like it. Same also for the treasury or dragon trader, I mean. Also have a lot of slots for everything away from you have to buy a lot, but actually you can go for a lot. Away from it's almost the same like the old Blood and Soul. On the last days, it wasn't like that. When we started, maybe we was about here and hard to buy anything under this. But here on this game, it's kinda okay and good, so I like this part as well. Also, I like the part on the guilds here, like normally on old days, the most important one was Forge Keeper and Soul Warden, but now you can use any one of the other fours because they can give you some good items, can help on accessories, can help on a lot of other things. Also, some items maybe put it like as a mantra one can give some buffs for your characters, so maybe you can give it a try for a lot of different things. Insignias also not too bad idea, and you can make some of this so easy, can drop on dungeons. Also, I like the loot can come from killing any random mobs in the game. It was super useless on the older game. This one, it can give you some not bad things, by the way, so it's kinda okay as well. So I guess all of this actually some good things. Actually, I like that we have now to kill some bosses on the outside the world. So if that's world bosses or the bosses for the wheels, actually kind of fun to go for this. So it's actually when you find a daily on them, so I can go for them to get some gold. It's actually good. So I like what they do for the world map. But if I will talk about dungeons in general, so dungeons on these days, maybe I feel some good parts on it, but I feel some, or I see some bad parts on it. So the good parts, maybe we don't have that much mechanics on the game, on the early dungeons, and that's how it was, by the way, on the early days on Bread and Soul. Maybe the most of begin to see some complicated mechanics came from the dungeons after Silver Frost, because a lot of dungeons was having some hard mechanics. Maybe it's like Ibn Citadel, one of the early dungeons to have this. So maybe here we don't have that much from that hard mechanics on the dungeons we have until the moment on the game. I don't see that much mechanics. You just can go and do some damage and try to kill, and that's it. Also, there wasn't that much of time required to kill bosses away from Bad Bud raid. I think I have that. Not sure about Poran, didn't go there. So I shouldn't really say about this. But what I don't like, when you are playing as an early player and trying to gear up and all of this, so you have to go for dungeons and you have to go for blue dungeons at least. So normally you will go for F8 and trying, as example, to try to get a party. So that part will be a bit hard to find someone to do this. So maybe you will have to wait until you see someone in chat want to try to get you. But actually when find the players asking for too much attack power. Okay, so when you look to this, normally you will feel like why they asking for too much attack power. But actually the reason is because of who made the game, made some stupid part on how much strong is this bosses or how much requirement you need to kill one boss. And that I see in two parts. Part number one, how much HP he have compared to the time you normally go for the boss. Like, I am killing or I am reaching level 45. So normally your attack power will be about 3k, 300, something on this average. So how you can put someone strong need like more than 450 or 500 so you can kill the boss and feel relaxing, I can say, or it's okay to kill him like this, and you have just 300 attack power and try to kill this. So it's actually stupid, this one, because you have to try a lot of things and a lot of too much things away on every place, so you can try to go for these bosses to play some dungeons. So actually because of this, daily for these guys is almost impossible, because dungeons is actually too hard. Blue Lagoon is actually something impossible for early players. They can try and maybe if they have experience they can win, okay, but something like as example Hall of Ongoing or as example, it need like maybe 450, maybe more than this, maybe 500. So I can say you can play and have fun and can do it, but actually it will be also hard for you because of how much these bosses also do damage to you, and this is a part 2 I mean. on the dungeons or the bad point on the dungeons, because the boss is almost doing half your HP with one hit. So if you don't have that much HP, you will die. As the boss is sometimes doing some attacks without even thinking, you can't even see anything happen before they attack, and you find the attack doing like half of your HP. So a lot of players can die on dungeons even if they have gears. I saw a lot of players level 50 and dying so easy. And maybe I survive because I have some experience, or at least because I was playing as a tank all of my time on all the Blood and Soul for 7 years, so I expect a lot of things can happen and all of this. But for players, even if they reach level 50, they can die so easy. So most of players going for high attack power and high DPS, so they can go for all of this fast. Also, the dungeons is actually long, so going for a more attack power will be benefit them more, especially if they want to grind or want to finish dailies or want to go for blue terrain as example for all of the blue dungeons and all of this. So all of this can make the requirement going super high. So if I were the one who made the game or made the dungeons, I have to make the dungeons a bit lower on HP. I have to make the damage from the bosses a bit lower. Especially there are some bosses don't deserve to have that much damage. If something with big sword and big boss and attacking even slow a bit, I can put some damage on the boss. It's actually okay. But when I see something like this first boss on that spider dungeon, I actually don't remember what it was called, this dungeon, and see this boss actually not even think about anything when he attack and find yourself die from 2 hits. Kinda stupid this one. So actually why? It's not deserving all of this, especially there's a lot of players actually new to the game, don't understand anything, don't understand their skills or anything from that. So normally they will die a lot. And if we go for another point, and maybe the last point I will have to talk about, and that's skills. Skills, maybe we talked about some points as we are talking, but the most important point, skills, especially on early game, is so bad, super bad, super bad. The good thing I like that maybe you can go for a different ways to play. Like this tab is something new we didn't have on the old game, so maybe you can play with it and make some different ways to play with different soul badges and all of this. So maybe you can have 3 styles to play with the tab, and this one will go for the lightning, this one will go for the fire as example. So maybe you can have a different styles. But there is some skills actually the difference will make nothing. Like this one approach, okay, maybe when I reach blue, this one can do something. I see a lot of damage from this skill, okay, but there is some skills actually change it to the worst, I can say. And if I will say as a Blade Master Rush as example, away from this skill can do a lot of damage, but normally we had a stun one on this. It was making us doing the TT chase and going for something good when we was playing PvP. It was actually skilled a bit when we use it on a good way, and normally on a normal way it was good for approaching and doing the stun and all of this. So actually I'm so sad about the skill as example. Some other skills maybe they make it good. I like some changes on them, like as example Fresh Step is the other one I didn't try it yet, so I'm not sure about it. But as example 5-point strike, there is a daisy change. This one can do more damage, so maybe you can go for it for PvP or PvE for more damage. So it's actually kinda good. But the bad thing is that I have to go for blue as example, so I can go for fly. So that's I need some grind for myself, so I can get this. And I don't hate that part that much, by the way. What I hate actually the most, that I have to get every skill. Okay, if I will go for DNA skills, it's actually not so hard at the moment. But blue skills, I have to go for high dungeon or higher dungeon, so I can do this. And mostly I need some of these skills for PvP more than PvE. As example, for this one, for 5 points right, I need this blue for the flying combo. Because this one, if it can do a stun, I can grant a lunge. So I can fly the other one. But for the just the green version, it's not doing this. It's just doing the days. There is no fly. Okay, so maybe some will use it as a days, maybe some will use it as a fly. It's actually about you, but I mean, you have to go harder so you can get something better from these skills. In all the days, it's actually was on the moon still, it wasn't so easy to get, but you have to grind a lot, you have to play a lot of PvP as example, try to get the item and a lot of this. That was actually good way to do this, but here it's actually not so easy. Even the bots that can give you blue skills have low chance to do this, so almost will never happen. Also, I don't like some changes happen to some skills, like as example my C was normally doing the days and have a different way to do resist with it, so I was using this for resist a lot of time on the other game, but here I will just use it as a days and I have nothing more than this days and recover HP and all of this. So going for it, maybe I will just use it for more PvP or anything like this. So maybe I will find myself I don't want to get the skill and will have to focus on something else and not getting this one. So I can say the most things I don't like on skills, I can't switch. I have a problem with getting a lot of skills, so you will have to take time and play and try to grind and all of this, so which is not something so bad. But the worst thing I see that I have to get a lot of items so I can use multiply skills. Like what I mentioned, I have to as example 2 necklaces, so I can put a lot of skills here and a lot of skills here. So this one can serve for PvP and this one serve for PvE and another one serve for PvE but with another skills or specs, whatever what you want to call it. So it's kinda too much hard work for this, which is actually bad and not bad. It's different between someone like this and someone don't like this. But what I hate the most is that some changes on the skills is actually so bad, so I don't like it. Well, until I begin to talk about every character, so maybe we can talk about all of the skills. But away from this, that's the points I see on the game at the moment. The worst thing for sure the DDoS attacks. No way I can light this and anyone light it because it makes you feel like I don't want to play, and a lot of times for myself I feel like I don't want to play Blade and Soul. I will play, I will get DC, so why I waste my time? I will not play now, I will go to play any other game, and that's how it going for me most of the time. That's why I just have these gears and I didn't get something else and more than this, and also because it didn't make me feel as well wanted to make videos for the game. And that's will go for you as well, guys. So anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it and I hope you feel my point and try to mention it more for others that making the game. Maybe our voice can do something for once away from, I know we'll never do anything. Well, it's okay. I left the old game for this reason, and maybe you know this already for who was watching me from around the time and know this. So anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Hope you liked the video and see you in the next video. Bye bye.